Alright guys, welcome to Mentor Asia Pacific. We're doing another episode today and we are here at the office of DreamStorm and we have our next guest. This is Niel. He's a good friend. We're going to talk about what he does and hopefully hear a couple things about his stories that some of you may or may not know already. Alright Niel, let's get into this.
Let's. That was fluid, bro. I know this is kind of like the first time I'm doing another YouTube channel, and so it's kind of like, woo, you got this, man. Yeah, that felt good.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
So let's share one thing that most people might not know about.
I know it's been a while now, but for the most part, you know, a lot of people know that I'm a filmmaker, but I guess most of the time people forget that I actually started in YouTube like a very long time ago, and that's kind of how I got into filmmaking. So for about like 13 years ago, my friends and I made this YouTube channel, and we were called MBZDHD, and we would just make like YouTube skits because Niga Higa was big, Smosh was big, and so that's how we really got into filmmaking, just because it was a passion thing. And now that 25, you know, it's crazy that I think that's been more than half my lifetime that I've been doing this.
So that's a good segue into your story for the most part. So you started out in YouTube. Mm-hmm. So let's jump from there. What's your story? How did you get to where you are today?
I mean, to go from YouTube to having my own company today, you know, DreamStorm, we produce a lot of local commercials on the island, and it wasn't easy at all. I'll tell you that. I mean, if it weren't for the people I've met along the way and the opportunities that I've taken, I don't know if I would be here, honestly. Filmmaking is very difficult, but for the most part, you know, one of the biggest, I guess, catalysts to figuring out whether or not we can do this on the island was my team and I back in the day. We made Palm's second feature film. You know, we made it back in high school, IRTU, and that was a crazy thing to do for a bunch of high school kids. And I think about it now, and I'm kind of like, I can't even do it now. It's difficult. So to go from having a YouTube channel to making your own movie, and then, you know, kind of just creating short films along the way, meeting more people, learning more things, and then finally one day, you know, I was kind of like, you know, I don't want to work a day job anymore. I really just want to do this. So let's just do this.
That's kind of the idea that I want to bring out there, is that college and the military are not your only options. That if you have a passion, that you could find your little niche or niche, and then you could push that. You can push your passion, and you can step away from an 8-hour job.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about your first feature film. Mm-hmm. I don't know if a lot of the people that are going to view this have seen that feature film, but talk to me about like how you guys put that project together.
Well, you know, at the time we were seniors, and we don't really like doing candygrams and car washes. We thought that wasn't fun at all. So we decided as a team, you know, we're just gonna work really hard for one thing, and hopefully it works out, and that makes a ton of money so we can pay for our graduation. So technically, if that movie didn't work out, we were screwed. But yeah, I mean, it was fun because I mean, it wasn't just the movie that we made. We made a bunch of plays and a bunch of productions. So that really kind of tested our abilities back then to see whether or not, you know, even at 17 years old, can we do this for a living on the island? Can we do this on Guam? And it turns out you can, if you have enough determination, enough drive, and, you know, just like do your research. You always need to do your research. If you don't study, then all of that will kind of be for naught.
Definitely, that's one of the answers that I wanted to hear, that we on Guam have to produce income for the most part to walk at graduation. So sometimes, you know, doing the car washes, those are a little more tedious. If you find one project, sometimes you can hit your home run and make all your money in one shot. Okay, so that was a hit for the most part, doing that movie. So, you know, we talk about businesses and it's not always great. So talk to me about some of the struggles that you went through during your time doing these projects.
There's a lot of long nights. You know, sometimes, well, especially for the movie, during the time, you know, being in high school is already hard enough as it is. You got homework, you got exams, you got all your relationships. So it's kind of hard to prioritize all of that. I remember even being in clubs was very difficult. So at the time, my team and I, like a good amount of us were in the senior council. So we were even the ones handling all of the events and festivities and all of that. So when we were making the movie, there would be times where we would legit, like right after school, go straight to making the movie. And sometimes we would just be working and sleep for only maybe like 2-3 hours and then go back to school. Like it was nuts. And we would even like all stay, like we all moved into one place together for that time being. I don't even know how our parents were okay with that, or maybe they weren't, but like they let us do it because they knew we were really, really passionate about what we were doing. So, you know, and we all slept on the floor. Like we didn't sleep on beds. It was like one house. We just slept on the floor, and yeah, I mean, there was so much that went into making that movie that when I think about it now, it's like I really don't know how to pull all of that off.
Okay, how about some professional struggles, like further down the line past the movie? What are the struggles you want to share with us?
You know, I think on Guam, you know, we say that anything is possible. You know, like if you really put your heart into it, but not everyone is made for this. So professionally, you need to be able to really commit to what you want to do. Because if you're only like half in, it's going to be very difficult, you know, to come to fruition. Only because like you're kind of like expecting the other half to be given to you. And most of the times, the people that I've met that think that way, it falls flat really fast. Because like in filmmaking, you know, there's a bunch of people that you need in order to make a movie. You need a director, you need a camera operator, you need sound, lights, all of these things. And you know, back in the day, we don't have all of those things. We don't have all of those people. We had to become all of those people. So even in the same things, especially if you want to venture into something that's never been done on the island, you kind of have to become everything in order for it to succeed.
So you have to be the first, you have to be the pioneer for the most part. Okay, so thanks for sharing that part. So being that you were the pioneers for the most part here on Guam, I'm sure you looked to mentors further out from Guam. Maybe you had some mentors here on Guam. Can you share with me a couple of mentors that might have helped you along the way?
One of my mentors is Ernest Ochoa. He's my godfather, first and foremost. And he basically taught me the basis of theater. The foundation for it is all from him. If not for him, the career I would have now probably wouldn't have turned out this way. And also, I don't think I would have been able to make I Heart You, to be honest. I mean, I met him before I Heart You, and a lot of what I learned was from him. I mean, he's directed a bunch of, like hundreds of productions on the island. I don't even, like if he said the actual number, I don't think people would even believe that he did that many. But he's done that much work and he's put in that much time into the community. So he's one. My second one is Robert Tenorio from Expression Studio. I used to work there. And you know, business-wise, I've learned a lot from him. I mean, he's a small business. He's a local business on the island, but he's very well recognized on the island. Everyone loves him. Everyone goes to him because of his quality of work. You know, there's no doubt, and people repeatedly go back. And so he's the second one, and my third one is kind of like my actual film mentor. He's from here, but he doesn't live here right now. He's in New York City. His name's Mike Hachinova, and he is also a filmmaker. He's a great filmmaker. He has his own company out there. He makes films, he makes commercials, and it's crazy because whenever I send him anything that we've worked on, like any project, he can literally watch it one time and break down, oh, you use this light, you were standing over here, the sun was over. I don't know how he does it, but he's like a magician, and he just knows everything that went into it. So he's a really great mentor in terms of like he kind of pushes me to become a better filmmaker.
Right. So everybody still has a mentor. We need to look for those people to learn our craft. Last thing, so now we're gonna get some advice.
Okay.
But of course, some of these kids that we're giving advice to, they're still learning their way.
Mm-hmm.
So you have some insight. So think back 10 years ago and where you were at, 2008. And give yourself 3 pieces of advice. What would you tell yourself?
For me personally, I would probably tell myself, 10 years ago, before making the movie, you don't need to be such a hard ass. You don't need to be such a jerk. I mean, but then I think about like how it was now. Like if I were to do it now, I'd be able to do I Heard You in the movies and all of those things much more considerately. It's just I realize when you're young and you're a kid and you have all of these pressures, sometimes you don't know how to handle anything but just kind of like turn off your emotions and not really care about what other people think of you or say of you because you just need to get things done. But for the most part, it's always better to just be a decent human being, just be more considerate, just be more loving. Because I mean, these are still your friends, these are still the people that you're around, and you're always going to be remembered as the people, as someone who is loving. And I think that's much better than someone else like, oh, he was kind of like a jerk, I don't want to see him. But that's one big piece of advice. The second one is if you really believe in something and you know what's right from wrong, really follow your heart and listen to it because that intuition is there. I know another thing most people don't know is there's this, everyone knows National Honor Society on the island. Everyone knows that. But they don't know that there's this other club. It used to be called National Forensics League, but I think it's something called like Speech and Debate now. And I was part of that. And it's kind of like a competition where you go off island, and if you win this competition, you'll get a full ride scholarship to any of the colleges you apply to. So if you get into Harvard and you win that, full ride, you're good. So I had this mentality of for that club, that really meant something. And with the NHS, it's very don't get me wrong, it's a great club, but at the time I didn't have all this time back then to devote myself to it. So I actually got in, and the first year I got in, maybe a couple of months in, I told them, oh, I'm quitting. And they were so shocked because kids don't quit that. And I told them, I was like, look, I'm very honored that I'm part of this, but I don't have the time. I have other priorities I want to do. I want to make a movie for my class. I want to do all these plays, and I feel like I would be of good use to this organization because there's no time. So really believe in something. I'm going to sound like that Nike ad. I believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. But for sure. If you wholeheartedly believe, chase it. The third one.
Okay, we'll jump in. Okay, so there's not a third one. So we're talking about DreamStorm, and I think you're trying to build a legacy. You're trying to build your name on Guam. So we'll go the other direction.
Okay.
We'll go plus 10 years now.
Okay.
And let's project, because I think as entrepreneurs for the most part, we like to project and see where we're going, and at least set a pretty high goal and see where we're at, and especially try to make it. Mm-hmm. So 10 years from now, what do you picture you being at?
For this island, the reason I'm here is because I do believe that you can achieve what you want to do here. And, kind of like you mentioned, you don't need to go to the military. You don't need to go off island technically. Everything you have is here. It's whether or not you are able to kind of find that resource. And most people, I guess they don't want to have to try so hard, and that's why they leave. Because it's much easier if you find it out there. The opportunity is easier to find. But I guess for us, we really believe in building the foundation here. Right now, the film community is very small. And so I would love to see it grow and build itself to a point where you know, I mean, at least if like someone was making one movie a year, I think that would be cool. I think there's definitely a place for that on the island. There's a lot of stories from here that aren't told, and yeah, I'd love to be making movies for Guam.
Alright guys, we're going to thank Niel for being on the show. Once again, I'm Alvin Sangha, and this is another episode of Mentor Asia Pacific. Stay tuned for the next one. Catch you next time.
Alright, thanks man.
Woo! Thanks guys for tuning into Mentor Asia Pacific. Once again, I'm Alvin Sangha. Check out all our social media, that's going to be linked down below. Stay tuned, more mentors are to come. We're going to be releasing a mentor every week. And please leave a comment down below for any mentors that you'd like to be featured on the channel, any business professional, entrepreneur, or anybody that you believe is inspiring and can provide to be a mentor for the youth of Guam. Until next time, thank you very much. Sangha out.